Welcome to a video review of Bruce Tuckman's Fixed Income Securities textbook, and this is Chapter 8, which is called The Evolution of Short Rates and the Shape of the Term Structure. That's really the key word here with respect to this really relatively brief chapter. This is the third chapter in a sequence of 5 that are assigned to topic 5 from Bruce Tuckman. You probably know that by now. So we've already looked at chapters 6 and 7. We're at 8, and I will say that 8 depends on chapter 7. Chapter 7 was the science of term structure and introduced that term structure idea. This chapter 8 is just going to add 2 realistic tweaks to it. So if you want to read or review chapter 7 so that we can build on some of that, some of those concepts. And then after that, just so we know where we are, here's the roadmap. Chapters 9 and 10 after this, and they actually could have been one big chapter because 9 and 10 build on 7 and 8, and in these chapters, Tuckman goes through a catalog of some of the more realistic interest rate models, some which are actually used by practitioners in increasing sophistication. So there's a chapter division there, but it's really just a set of models spanning from 9 to 10. So that makes all 5 chapters quite logical, really. So if we look at the learning objectives here, we do have 5, but just to give us some context, we want to be looking in particular for the 2 features that really are the point of the chapter. The chapter's been in the FRM for several years like the others, so basically almost a decade in this case. So we're going to be looking for convexity as a feature, and we're going to be looking for the risk premium. Both of these are, I'm going to call them features that impact the shape of the term structure. And that's really the emphasis of this relatively short chapter. So with that said, we'll take a look at the first learning objective, which sets up the baseline that we're then quickly going to shift away from. That is pure expectation theory. So as Tuckman says, expectations, that very word implies uncertainty. But pure expectations, this approach assumes away the uncertainty. And in this unrealistic base case, assumes investors agree on a single series of future spot rates. So that's pure expectation theory. The unrealistic case under which the shape of the spot rate curve is determined solely by expected future spot rates. That's the key phrase. So we're saying, again, this pure expectation theory, probably unrealistic, probably nobody really believes in it, but it sets up the base case where the spot rate curve is a function only of expected future spot rates. And so this terminology is meaningful, right? Because the way that I think of expected future spot rates are, we do not currently observe them, right? We can be here today at time 0, and there can be let's just say, I'll say small r, 0.5 to denote today a 6-month spot rate. And if we just imagine going forward in time to 1 year, t plus 1 year, we could have today forward rates or embedded in futures contracts, but forward rates are different. Forward rates, forward prices, these are generally things we can observe today.